Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to talk about a really important subject. We're going to talk about pilgrimages and Bijugrimages, and we're going to talk about what it means to be a D&D ally. Let's get into this. I think this is a critically important subject that deserves deep discussion. I want to start that discussion now, and the discussion starts with Indiana Jones, Curse of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. It is Indiana Jones 4, and I am now prepared. I have prepared myself. I took the time and I watched every single Indiana Jones film before Indiana Jones 5 drops. And what's interesting is here's my ranking of the Indiana Jones movies, and this is all connected. Please be patient. All right, so the very best Indiana Jones film, and by the way, this isn't an opinion, okay? Welcome to Scott Garibay's channel. Art is not subjective, okay? Art is objectively good or bad. It's not people's opinions, right? If you say that Michelangelo's David is bad art, you suck, you don't know art, and people are going to question your intelligence, your discretion, and your overall wisdom. And they should, because it's not an opinion that Michelangelo's David is good art. It's high art. It is a masterpiece by a world-class talent, by not a world-class talent, an all-time talent, right? And honestly, there's other material there, and you could look at some art and just be like, this was this was lazy. There was very little effort put into this, or the artist's agenda far outweighed any desire to make an actual story for someone that someone could enjoy. They just wanted to make a point, and they used the paycheck they got to make the point to the world rather than tell a narrative story that people could enjoy. Like, art is objectively good or bad. I do not subscribe to art is subjective, right? Old quackery opinion, that old quackery supposition that is clearly wrong. We don't need to bother with the idea that that art is subjective anymore. Art is objectively good or bad, right? And so I'm telling you, objectively, these are the best Indiana Jones and the worst Indiana Jones. Let's get into it. All right, the best Indiana Jones movie by far is Last Crusade. Okay, and then next, Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. There's not a debate on whether it's a good or bad movie. It's like, it is literally the second best Indiana Jones film that's ever been made. Period. End of sentence. Right? It's just a fact. All right? And in my humble opinion. And so that's where, okay. Then you have Raiders of the Lost Ark, fantastic film. And then you have Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Anytime you bring up Indiana Jones, you're going to hear people will immediately say, Indiana Jones 4 is a bad movie. Right? And the reason why I say that way is, okay, we need to stop this, right? There was a discussion that the Star Wars prequels were not good. The D&D community, the Star Wars community, found out that they were the suckers, right? And they're dumping on, literally and figuratively, on the prequel films was flat out wrong, right? Like people were like, oh, the prequels weren't good, and Disney were like, hold my beer. You want to see a sucky Star Wars trilogy? Wait until you see this hot mess, right? And people were like, oh, the dude that we said sucked actually completely reshaped all of theater and how movies would be made for a century, maybe 3 centuries, maybe a millennial, and we were completely wrong about the prequels. So and this is my point. You're wrong about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Like, really wrong about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And I have a commenter who's commented on my channel for many years and is absolutely brilliant, and said and has and this is one of the, I really want you guys to think and not give up thinking. We give up thinking. Everybody's like, oh, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a bad movie. You're wrong. You're just flat out objectively wrong. Okay? It's not debatable. You're wrong. Right? I just rewatched it. What happens in Kingdom of the Skull, right? Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is Indiana Jones, a movie, a hero we've seen 3 movies with, right? Gets to find out he has a son that he hasn't known for 20 years. It is earth-shattering to him, right? We get to see his own hypocrisy when he realizes, at first he's like, oh, Mutt, you don't have to finish school. The second he knows it's his son, he's like, no, you have to finish school, right? Everything I said was before. And we see that, like, blood is blood, and association is association, and our values really come in when it deals with blood, right? And then we see Marion Ravenwood as a person. We get to see a female character portrayed by an actual female artist, actor, recreating her role like 20 years after the first film. And Indiana Jones and Marion Ravenwood get married. There is more character progression in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull than any American blockbuster in history, period, end of sentence. Not debatable, facts. I just watched it, right? And so when you say, oh, I didn't like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but it didn't have the same feel, right? Like, you are ignoring massive narrative progress, and you're ignoring achievements that have not actually occurred on any other American blockbuster series. Like, this does things that nothing has done. Okay? And so I went on a Bijugrim. I am a Bijugrim. What is a Bijugrim? First of all, if you want to know how it's spelled, it's right in the title, right, of this video. A pilgrim is a person who journeys to a sacred place for religious reasons. A Bijugrim is a person who journeys to a dynamic place for artistic reasons. You can cling to your outrageously wrong idea that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a bad film, but it makes you a lesser person. And this is the point, are you a D&D ally or are you a casual, right? The LGBTQ community, they realized they needed allies, people who would stand with them, right? And this is the point. D&D needs allies. Indiana Jones needs allies. 5th movie is coming. Are you going to be that sad sack who's like, oh, I don't like Phoebe Bridgers going to be in there. Oh, I don't like that. Blah, 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 blah. Right? Like, and you're a casual fan who's looking, oh, I want to eat my popcorn and sip my soda, blah, 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 blah. You don't understand what's happening with Indiana Jones, right? This is 5 films outside of the comic book register, right? Outside the comic book milieu that has accomplished something no other American blockbuster has accomplished. We have seen a person, one actor, Harrison Ford, portray a hero through 5 films in his life at blockbuster levels, right? And this thing has transformed American cinema, and every single thing that America does, that it does well, transforms the world. This isn't just us, right? There's 1,000 directors in other countries who model their work after Steven Spielberg. It's not the other way around. There ain't 1,000 American directors trying to, copy one, international director. It just doesn't, name them, right? I'll be lucky if I even know the person's name, right? It's not the same. There's stakes here, right? And the point is, are you going to be a casual, right? Who's like, oh, I want to make me feel good while I eat my popcorn and drink my soda, or are you going to realize what you're looking at, something truly magnificent that is a platform that other narratives will be placed upon, right? The entire structure of how characters are built, the entire structure of how action works, the entire structure of how period films, Indiana Jones said, period films don't have to suck, right? And they can make money. Indiana Jones is a period film that earns, right? Normally you're like, oh, let's make this period film. Nobody wants to make money on this film, right? Oh, right. You don't know the stakes, right? Indiana Jones 4 is not a bad movie. It is a historically important film, right? And if you don't like it, you suck. Not the movie, you suck, right? And you need to think, what am I? Am I a casual who looks at art and goes, I don't like orange, right? Or are you someone who looks at art and allows it to change you? Does it allow you to go on a Bijugrimage? Does it make you a Bijugrim? Does it make you, by the way, Biju, Japanese use the word Bijutsu for art, right? A pilgrim, a Bijugrim, a pilgrimage, a Bijugrimage, right? Are you a person who is journeying to reach a dynamic place for artistic reasons? Or are you just a sad sack who sits your butt in the theater seat, or even worse, sits on your stinking couch and gets interrupted by the cat, right? Like, you don't even know how to view art, right? First of all, if you're not seeing movies in theaters, seal your flapping maw. You have no opinion, right? It's like getting a 5-star chef's dinner and eating it 3 hours later and saying it was congealed. You're the fool, right? Kingdom of Crystal Skull is not even remotely a bad film. If you think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is bad, you don't know art and you need to fix it. You are a casual who cannot enjoy and has no reason. You have every right, but you have no reason to comment on art, because what you think is pablum and is uninformed and ignorant. If you think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a bad movie, you don't understand how to consume art at all. And you should stop talking about art. You have every right to, but you have no reason to, because you're an ignorant fool, right? This is the point, right? Indiana Jones 5 is coming. Are you an ally? Have you prepared yourself? Are you an Indiana Jones ally? Or are you some casual who's just going to a movie to have fun, right? I'm telling you, there are stakes here, right? The world's art matters, and this will change the world's art, right? And the reason why is I think we're preparing to get a new Indiana Jones, and this can be a centuries-long intellectual property, unless you people win who think that Indiana Jones 4 is a bad movie, right? No, you are a bad consumer of art. This is not debatable. If you don't like Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, you suck as a person, because you don't know how to consume art, and you are making art worse for the entire world. And right now, the stakes are art is all that matters. That's where we are in the hierarchy, the Maslow's hierarchy. Art is everything now, right? If you don't know that, I've got other videos on it. There are stakes here, okay? And this entire video was about Indiana Jones and is 100% applicable to D&D. Are you a casual? Shut your flapping maw. Seal your maw. Go play your little fun game and cut a goblin in half and leave it at that. No one needs to hear you. You don't need a channel, right? Because nothing you're doing matters. And you suck as a gamer, right? You don't realize what Gary built, right? And so you have every right to comment, but you shouldn't comment. You should seal your flapping maw, because you have nothing true to say, because you don't know what you have, right? And that's my point. Casuals need to shut it, in my humble opinion. That's the issue, right? If you're a casual, no one needs to hear from you. And this is where we're going. If you are seriously into them, if you are pilgrims are people who journey to a sacred place for religious reasons. Are you a Bijugrim? Okay? Are you making a Bijugrimage? Are you journeying to a dynamic place for the sake of art? Or are you just some casual flapping your maw, right? And we need focus. We need time, energy, and focus. Art is what will save humanity. I'm convinced of that, right? Not science. We just figured. Did you miss that one? Like, science didn't really help us a lot, right? Like, it was like, yeah. Oh boy, that's a whole subject, right? It's important, right? If you really think for 1 second that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a bad film, you listen to fools and parodied them. You need to rewatch it again, and you need to ask, who am I? Am I a Bijugrim? Am I willing to journey to a dynamic place for artistic reasons? Every single word of that is my humble opinion. I'm eager to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.